So first of all, Rob, you were explaining the initiatives in the Netherlands, but as we understand, you're also a member of the OGC, and as such, you are of course very aware of international development. So how far is the Netherlands world leading, or are there other countries or maybe even regions that we should look to as frontrunners?
Thank you, Niels. I do think that the combination of richness of data, the capacity at the Dutch universities, and also the business development by Dutch companies is a strong point, also worldwide. And this idea, for instance, of setting up a 3D standard is something which has not been seen in other countries. That does not mean that there are other countries or cities which are in advance. I think there are many cities in the world who do have a quite advanced 3D model, which is not advanced in the way it's modeled, but it's advanced in the way it's used. And I think on that topic there are several very good examples. The Dutch government and some companies and some representatives from the University of Delft visited, for instance, the city of Singapore, the country of Singapore, during the summer, and there was a very good exchange of experiences and ideas. Worldwide, there is a dominance by the European partners, members of the Open Geospatial Consortium. I think especially the German members, who have done a lot of work in preparing this CityGML standard. So there are many places in the world to go to see and to work together on acceleration of 3D.
Thanks very much. The next question is for Sanne. And of course, when we see very nice reconstructions of buildings, even interior buildings, then the question arises, how about BIM? So are we looking at GIS standards, or is this something that is also compatible with the building information models with which architects and planners are more familiar? Sanne.
Well, first of all, I would like to emphasize that I'm not a data expert, so this is not really up my alley of expertise, but I do know a lot, quite something about it at this point. I mainly still look at GIS because I mainly work with the LOD1 perspective for the models. However, I do know that there's a thriving community that's, for instance, working on a data format called GeoBIM. And there's a very big community working on kind of bringing together the world of GIS and the world of BIM. And especially also because, as Henk explained, it's becoming more and more crucial that the different fields start working together. Having proper standards that can communicate together is very important. So there are some people, especially when you look at the building world, for instance, they think mainly with BIM. And however, enriching that with geographic data can be very valuable with GIS, and therefore at this moment it's still difficult to make them work together. But there's a lot of research going on into joining these two standards, for instance, with GeoBIM.
Thanks, Sanne. Next question is also for Rob or Sanne, whoever feels more comfortable with the question. We already have existing asset management systems that work with 3D information. How are these integrated into the standards that are being developed now in the national infrastructure? Rob, can you maybe answer?
Yeah, let's say that continues on what Sanne said. There are two major families of standards which relate to 3D objects. The one which comes from the geographic community, where CityGML is the worldwide standard now, and the standards which come from the building and construction industry, and where the Building Smart International Consortium did a lot of work on that. We have not seen, let's say, that many implementations where it is, let's say, common sense to upload an IFC model and reuse that in a geographical information system, and vice versa. So there are some pilot examples of that, but that is not, let's say, mature enough. And for that reason, Building Smart International and the Open Geospatial Consortium are working together now on a shared standard, which has the working title of Infra-GML, and which is focusing on the infrastructure part, like bridges and roads, to make it more easier to exchange data from the building and construction community to the GIS community and vice versa.
Thanks very much. Those were the questions that were posed by the community, and with a few on time, I would like to bring an end to the webinar. But of course, I cannot do that without thanking the speakers for their contributions. Apologies for the technical difficulties. I'm confident that your story still came across strongly. Thank you for your presentations, and also to all the participants for listening in and also for posting questions. This is the first in a series of webinars, and we hope to see you all again on the 21st of October, when we will be speaking about the role of GIS and geospatial technologies in smart mobilities. In the meantime, if you have any questions based on the presentations that you would like me to share with the speakers, you can also email us using the information provided here on this link. Furthermore, this webinar was recorded, so we will share the link with you, so you can always listen back to the presentations. Thanks very much for joining in, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a good day.